welcome back to my channel. So today's video is customizing the frontal on this all love hair. This is the first part of an installment, a two-part installment all about this hair. So let's just get right into it. Boom, frontal. So we're gonna need some BW2 bleach from Clairol. This is a bleach that I typically use. I also recently bought a different type of bleach, a kaleidoscope bleach, but I haven't used that yet. I need some got2b and some developer. I always spray the front and the back with the got2b just so it doesn't like seep through the lace, but sometimes that does prevent some of the knots from being bleached, so you have to make sure you don't use too much got2b. Then I also spray the top and just comb any flyaways away so they don't get like caught in the bleach or anything and get messed up, get discolored. So pour my bleach in, pour in the developer. I like to make my bleach mixture very thick. I want it to look like a relaxer almost, because you don't want it to seep through the lace, so you want to make it like thicker but able to be spread, if that makes sense. So I just start spreading, no crazy technique. I use a comb, like a rat tail comb. Sometimes I use a brush, but I feel like because it's so thick it doesn't really spread as well with the brush. This lace is kind of thicker, so like it had more ridges and stuff in it, which made it kind of harder to spread the bleach evenly, but it still worked out. It was still okay. Then I set a timer for 10 minutes. Typically I set the timer for 10 minutes and then I see where it's at, and then from there I will add more time if it needs more time. So after 10 minutes, it actually needed a few more minutes because a lot of the knots weren't bleached. So I added another 7 minutes on the clock. And even after that, I still felt like, you know, it could have used a little bit more time than that. But because I don't want to damage the frontal and because I'm not a professional at this, I rather give it a little bit less time and try to be a little bit more protective of the knots than overdo it and then have a bald frontal. So I make do with what I have, and I can say that my wigs typically look pretty good after installment with using this technique. Moving on to the plucking, once again, no wild technique for this either. I just kind of start a little bit further in with my part and pluck a little bit, and then pull some hair back, pluck that, pull all the hair back, pluck that. And I kind of go back and forth till when you comb it all back, that looks good. Because if you don't start far enough in, you'll end up with this super thick line on the front. Or sometimes if you like pluck just from the front, I've had situations where I end up with like random bald spots because I was focusing too much on the front and I was actually pulling from underneath, and it was like, it just wasn't a good situation. So I part and I pluck and I part and I pluck. I could have plucked more, but I'm definitely an under plucker, just for the simple fact that after a while your frontal starts to shed. So you want to make sure that you give yourself the room to naturally lose some of the hair in the frontal as well. When I do side parts, I like to pluck the side and give it baby hair and stuff. But like initially I didn't want to do side parts, so I didn't really pluck the sides as much, but then I ended up doing a side part. But it's okay. It's all okay. Everything's okay. So boom, laying the part now. So I use this argan oil mousse setting lotion, whatever. My mom used to use it in my hair when I had hair and I would roller set it, and I liked it. So that's what I use, and I go in with a hot comb. Now, typically I know people shouldn't put like a hot comb on like wet hair, but I do what I want. So that's what I'm doing here. And I could tell you my part was mad flat, so obviously it did something. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend using mousse and a hot comb on your real hair, but when it comes to laying this hair, it gets the job done. And yeah, I didn't really cut much baby hair or anything. Kind of just combed it in the direction that baby hair will go, and all the finishing touches will be done in my video tomorrow. So stay tuned for an initial unboxing, an initial install, and my opinions on this hair so far. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Rachel Esther, and never forget, stay beautiful, stay booming, and stay blessed.